Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Escape Velocity. Y- hello. I, I started getting ahead and like these are the announcements I should make, but I still have to like get to those announcements first. And blah. Anyway, hello. You just watched our intro video, which tells you what we do here on the channel. It's a lot of tabletop role-playing games. We've got stuff most nights of the week, and then sometimes we do extra bonus stuff if we're feeling saucy enough. Um, let's see, our schedule, if you're here live on Twitch, is underneath our faces. Otherwise, it is on our various socials. We've got, most of the, well, not most of the big ones. We've got a Twitter, we've got a Hive, we've got YouTube where you can catch all our previous shows. So if you're coming in at, this, which is episode 16 of this campaign, there is a lot of catching up to do, which you can do on the YouTube. And most importantly, we've got a Discord, which is where most of us hang out and do our announcements, which is also when we do the impromptu things like video game streams of various sorts. I know recently there have been some Dark Souls streams, there's been some Pokemon challenge runs, lots of stuff like that. And for all that unscheduled stuff, you'll find out about it first if you join our Discord. Let's see. Our schedule is mostly normal this week, except for Saturday. There won't be any streams because it is Van's birthday. And, rather than spending all of his birthday in 2 streams, probably taking the day off. So, nothing this Saturday, which means no Queer Chronicles of the Strixhaven Quintet, which is, they're currently in a Wild Beyond the Witchlight game. And Saturday afternoons is Ward 47, which is a Parslings game. So neither of those happening this weekend, but you can catch up on YouTube for those and make sure you are ready for when they come back the next weekend. Yeah, I think that's it in terms of channel stuff. So let's go around and introduce ourselves. Who are you and what do you do on the internet and in this game?
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
uh, David, internet wise, you can find me here on Tuesday nights, where tonight I am the GM of the Stars Without Numbers game.
And hello again. You must have missed me terribly, and I'm glad to be back for you in this trying time. I'm Alex. OMG, it's some guy on the internet, mostly on GGK here, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then on LB's channel on Sunday nights for the shenanigans over there. Speaking of,
Hi, it's my turn. I'm LB Hack'em. You can find me at LB Hack'em on the Twitters and the Twitches, where we stream on Fridays and on Sundays. We're playing through Resident Evil 4, the remake, on Fridays, so I'm excited to get back into that. But yeah, I'm going to be playing Neith tonight. She's a technician.
I suppose that makes it my turn. Hello, I'm Mecha or Mecha Spider or at Mechalight Spider on Twitter. You can find me on the Twitches as well for Mecha Spider, where I occasionally stream. And the next time I have a stream, whenever that decide that to be, I have a surprise for the stream. A nice surprise, don't worry. And on this game, I play as well. You can find me here every other Tuesday. I keep forgetting it's not Wednesday. It is in fact Tuesday. So yeah, sorry. I play as Scarra, the human pilot, who is currently incredibly worried but happy to be back on the ship.
All right, and that brings it to me. Hi, I'm Sita. You can find me on the internets at Mr_Wilt. You can find that down in the description because I can't create a name that is easy to write. You should see my email. To be honest, though, if you really want to get in touch with me, you're going to have to come to one of these streams and find me in the chat. I will be busy trying to distract the storytellers and players from remaining in character. Tonight, however, I will be playing Mozart, the murder android with a penchant for pop culture references, ancient pop culture references.
Realized I forgot to explain my character in this game. I am playing Teddy, who is a bunny person, who is a telepath and courtesan, and the ship's captain. In name, he tries to run it more as a council of equals. Um, but yeah, and then I think I know what Mecha's surprise is. Being Steam friends with him, I have seen certain activity popping up recently, so looking forward to that. But yeah, let's turn things back over to David to give us a recap of what happened last time.
All right. So last time you guys found yourselves in the middle of a mutiny, a coup attempt uh, on a defense station inside of Minerva, or inside of Minervan space. Um, the emperor was there to talk to you guys about the weird, crazy, scary alien thing you found that had basically taken over and consumed your ship, and try and hire you to do another job. And then this coup attempt happened. You managed to kind of like fight your way down to the command center, lie your way down to the command center, hack your way down to the command center, and where you then last time a majority of the session was fighting that last fight, um, where yeah you pretty handily won. There was still a lot of there was some people I guess a little low on health, but you had a psychic healer with you, so it wasn't too much trouble. And yeah, that helping out increased your kind of reward from the emperor. You got a one-on-one meeting with the emperor where he kind of was like, "Hey, sorry, I was a bit of a dick last time, but things are pretty tense right now, and I have to come across as a strong man for reasons that you have just seen." um, but he'd really like you to still investigate this other system where they found the Oasis of the Stars, the missing cruise ship, where it has apparently been invaded, infected by whatever this alien life form is that did the same to your ship. And to also, while you're there, if you could, pretty please find this Minervan diplomat and other diplomat, who were meeting on this cruise ship. But yeah, basically investigate, see what you can find. If you can find these two diplomats, that'd be awesome. And that yeah, you'll get like a million credits. I got to check my notes, but you guys already got paid a bunch. I think maybe already a million.
We got 500,000 up front, a million on our return, and that's separate from the bounties for any of the other missions.
Yes, that's correct. All right, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of bounties on bringing any kind of information or people back from the Oasis of the Stars, largely put up by family members and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could get any more on that, the Minervan diplomat has a pretty high bounty. I'll check on, doesn't matter what it is right now. But yeah, on top of getting a super special new spaceship that's decked out with all the cool new toys, including a Spike 3 drill, which lets you guys jump 3 hexes on that map instead of just one. And instead of taking 6 days to jump 1 hex, it takes you 2 days to jump 3. So you can go further much faster. And yeah, that's we pick up. You guys have made it onto your new ship. You haven't really explored much. We did go ahead and have Scarra roll the piloting check to do the drill, but we just needed to do that to make sure you guys successfully made it to the new place. So you don't have to have left yet. You could still theoretically be in Minervan space. if there's any last minute things you think you want to do. But basically, we're held at the edge of space anyway, so you're like maybe an hour away from being able to drill if you want to. Where it will then take you 2 days.
So the biggest question is, now that we've had a 6,000% increase in our party funds, are there things that we want to buy before we go into uninhabited space? I guess this is a good question to figure out, like, what are things that we can buy in this system?
All right. So Minerva is one of the few psychic, like, as it still has a functioning psychic academy. They're pretty knowledgeable folks, so any kind of like tech industry stuff, they're going to have decent access to things like that. If you're asking like book wise what you can grab,
Yeah, like what are things that would be good for us to have, and especially since we're presumably mostly going to be in space. I'm
Probably more not trinkets. What's the spare parts?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like
upgrading
upgrading the like our bionics, our legs.
Oh, gotcha. If you want to do any mods on that kind of stuff.
Yes, upgrade my legs.
Yeah. You guys could pretty easily buy any kind of spare parts, any kind of like crafting materials you guys want to use. You could easily grab that up. Weapons wise, you guys are pretty set. The new ship has an armory on it.
I have an question. It does towards my legs. It's a specific modification I'd like to add. It might be something I asked Neith in character, but I was wondering if I could add a gun to it.
Like
gun boots kind of thing. If I like,
okay,
there was like a little hole in the bottom of the thing, like next to where the thruster might be, where a bullet would come out. So I'd like,
what was that movie, Planet Murder?
Death Proof.
I thought Death Proof was the one with the car, because it was like a double feature grindhouse thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm making my legs as sci-fi as possible, if possible.
Gotcha. So is it like a bullet coming out of your foot? Like you got to hold your leg up and point the bottom of your foot at somebody? Yeah, so I mean, that's totally possible.
If I like the thing is, but the fun things is if I jetpack, spin around, and then just like land my foot on somebody's head and then fire, and then I have a concealed weapon too.
Yeah. These things are easily possible. Yeah. It would just count as like a modification, and that someone would, as we were talking before stream, someone would have to maintain. So basically, and what that means on the maintenance is that so your maintenance score that our fixing people can do assumes that like you have a certain amount of time each day that you can spend on maintenance and it not impact your ability to like be an adventurer or anything like that. And so if these things can't then be maintained on like a near daily basis, they start to like malfunction and have penalties and eventually just not work at all. But it wouldn't impact the main functionality of your leg. It would just impact the gun feature.
The gun,
yeah. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal. You're supposed to mod things. But yeah, so mods to do those, they just cost spare parts. You guys could potentially try and nab like some pre-tech spare parts. Those would be a little more expensive, but you could probably grab them since like the Emperor's fleet is nearby, and they would probably have some access to that, and you'd be, I'm sure he'd be willing to sell some of those types of things. They'd be pretty expensive. If you wanted any like pre-tech stuff like so tech level 5 or above, like weapons or anything like that, you might be able to afford like 1 or 2 of those as a group.
Well, I already paid off my debts towards Neith, so I'm a little bit poorer than everybody else.
Didn't you pay like an absurd amount though?
I paid like 3,000 or something. I don't remember how much it was.
Okay. That's not too bad. You guys got paid
We
like
don't
just
actually
paid
remember.
like
500,000.
1,000.
I don't actually remember how much it was.
But for like your armory, so your starship has got some fittings in it. So it's got an armory, which basically means you have access to any like tech level 4 and 3 guns that you might want, and armor as well. It's like within reason. You don't have like 80 of these guns or anything like that, so you can't go selling them, but enough to equip all of you guys. And then yeah, like your lab is advanced, so it gives you a bonus on stuff.
Does it include vac suits? Because if we're going to be going in like the wreckage of a spaceship, we probably want to be able to be in the vacuum of space.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of these armors absolutely have vac suit capabilities.
I know this is controversial on this in this game with the game with David. Can we get like an emergency EMP where if we get overrun by these beings, we can just pop it?
You mean an EMP?
Yeah, an EMP.
Okay.
I know they don't work like that, David, but this is the future and I want them to.
Okay. So the thing on it is, yes. Okay. So immediate answer, yes, you can have some kind of EMP that you could build. It wouldn't immobilize them though, because they're biological.
Fuck. Never mind. I don't want any EMP anymore.
Well, maybe it's something that Neith can mess with later, but it has had me thinking of like, are there any like? I'm thinking of like,
EMPs?
well, no, like rather than like, you know, any of our rifles or pistols or something that does like an area pulse effect for like, because these aliens can like unravel and like become very small and tiny, and like I imagine shooting them with traditional weapons wouldn't do much, but if we can do something to like hit a wider area and, you know, like a repulsor blast or something to keep them away from us, something along those lines might be useful.
So I believe there are flamethrowers. Let me check.
Not sure those will work in the vacuum of space, but could be useful otherwise.
True. Yeah. You know,
there's a sand thrower.
They don't have rules for flamethrowers. Lame.
Let's see. Energy weapons.
So plasma projectors, you guys would have access to those. Those are big. That's like a ball of melty plasma that gets launched at stuff.
Well, because yeah, I think Mozart comes equipped with a plasma projector, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that like there's heavy weapons. And you guys would have like a slightly more limited access to those. Like the armory is probably not teaming with them, so if you wanted to buy some, like if you all wanted to have a rail gun or something like that with like a stand, you know, you could do that. Which you can use heavy weapons. They just require like some kind of additional support. Like you can't carry them yourself, with the exception of probably Mozart and his big ass frame.
I think there's a separate frame for being able to mount heavy weapons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd still need something like that. If you really wanted to, you could maybe go for something like you could see if they'd be willing to part with like a vortex cannon, which is like a tech level 5 heavy weapon. So you wouldn't have any of those.
Are we
The
allowed to have
base-
the cannons on the side of the station that shoot like the solar rays?
Oh, gotcha. So that no, because that is like because the so the Minervan defense station has those because there's a Dyson cloud around their sun, so it's able to redirect it.
Yeah.
But
We can't just bring a Dyson sphere into the news system with us. We don't even know how far away we'll be from their sun.
you'll be very
It's
far away
true.
from the
It'd be
sun
very
when
funny,
you
though.
when you emerge, because basically you emerge at like a certain gravity, like there's like an edge where gravity is just right in a system to like pull you out of it. So it's always like out there by like Pluto or something like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the vortex cannon is
Well, can only be mounted on grav tanks and other similar dedicated fighting vehicles.
yeah, so you'd have to do something weird, like maybe have like some small vehicle that you used in space to mount it on, that you could
Yeah.
maybe take into hallways.
What, like a drop pod? Oh, a small vehicle. Okay, like a very small vehicle.
Like, I mean, yeah, so there are vehicles. That's another thing. If you wanted to spend money on vehicles, you could, because you don't currently have any.
That's true.
Um,
Because yeah, I mean, looking at the heavy weapons, there's this wheat cutter belt, which looks like, you know, basically you release a string of explosives on one side of a vehicle, which could maybe be useful for like an area of effect thing, but it also says like these are put on grav tanks and fighting vehicles.
It might be worth getting a vehicle, just like a land, like rover kind of, like a vehicle. Like I was thinking, like a Warthog from Halo kind of thing.
Those things
Is
are
you-
impossible to drive. Get something better.
What do you mean? They're so easy to
I-
drive.
I always found them very easy. I've never understood the complaint for the Halo Warthogs.
Yeah, I love them so much. Probably because I
I'm
love
terrible.
Halo.
I mean, they're better than the Ghost.
The Ghost is also pretty easy.
I also, I've gone on some mean sprees with the Ghost. Sorry, I'm bad
The
at
Mongoose
most
also
other
very-
drivings,
Well,
but
I think the
whatever
only-
the Halo thing
The
is.
only vehicle I ever struggle with is probably the Falcon or the Hornet or something. The flying vehicles.
All right,
Yeah, I mean,
so let's look at some vehicles here in the game. Yeah. So you guys could have like a grav flyer. If you guys wanted to buy a grav tank, there's enough space for it in your thing, and it does fly basically.
that would be most of our upfront payment though, because the book says it's 200,000 credits.
Yeah, it'd be nuts if you wanted to do it. You could. But yeah,
Yeah, what's
other than yeah, go ahead.
What's the class of the hull on our new ship?
Good question.
I'm looking at the ship mods, and they're all a percentage of the cost of the hull.
Also, sorry, y'all. Guess
Okay.
this. At least this first part is a shopping episode. So if that's not your
Yeah.
thing, come back later.
I've posted a pretty cool sci-fi futuristic vehicle in the Skip Velocity chat. Pretty fun one.
Okay. Oh,
Don't know
so
what that
the
would
hull
constitute
type.
as, but
Looks like it would maybe be
Let's.
either a ground
So-
car, grav car, or ATV.
hmm.
Just at a quick glance.
All right, so let's see. 5% of hull. Okay, cool. So the base cost for your ship's hull is 500,000 credits.
Okay.
Which cost. Yeah. I don't think it necessarily. Yeah, there's no reason. Yeah, so that's. I was thinking if we needed to calculate the other things in, like how cool of all the other stuff you have on it, but I don't believe so for the mods. But yeah, So getting a few mods in there too, like if you modded the ship, those could theoretically be relatively expensive. If you get like some of the really crazy mods.
Yeah, there are some very cool ones in here. Volley capacitors is really awesome. Once per combat, the ship's gunner gets 4 extra command points that can be spent on that must be spent on gun reactions.
I'm also realizing I don't know if we have a character sheet for the new ship.
Oh,
Unless you just
Let me-
updated the NAD boredoms.
I haven't, but that's probably the best thing to do.
Since we have a new ship, do we want a new ship name? That boredom
I think that should be
2.0.
discussed in character.
Yes, I also think that's the case.
All right. I'll start adding some stuff onto here.
Yeah, I'll close out of that sheet so it doesn't get confused. Okay, so we could look into, sounds like vehicles. If we get a vehicle of some kind, we may want to get some heavy weapons. Just wondering about if there's any kind of, whatchamacallit, like general equipment that it would make sense for us to pick up that we don't already have.
Drones. I know that Mecca has asked about drones. Buying a drone
Yes. I probably
might
should get
be
a
a
new
thing you want
one.
to look at.
I just assumed I'd get a new one with the new ship.
You
'Cause-
got a new of the same one you got, but if you want a better drone, feel
One
free
that
to
has
look at
more than
drones.
5 health.
Yeah.
Right. I need to actually open the PDF then. Probably. That might be a good idea.
Drones are in equipment and vehicles. Would that be correct?
It looks like it's after the vehicles section,
Mm.
page 80 in the PDF.
Right.
All right. So
Page 80? Okay. Oh, yeah, I see it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shopping.
Mm-hmm.
How much money do I have? I need to double check. Actually, I don't have that much money.
Well, some of this may come out of the party funds because
I have-
I just put the 500k straight into the group inventory. Haven't
I have
that at all?
2,200. Yeah. Is that how much? I don't know how much other people have, but I think that's normal. I can't actually afford a more expensive drone. How funny.
I mean, depending on how we want to allocate those funds, the Electo, the high end drone is 50,000. That's only a tenth of what we got.
We don't necessarily have to go that high up. I think having the packs is just fine with the 10k. It's not too much worse than the Electo. If we want a drone.
The big difference is the range.
The range, yeah. 100 kilometers is still quite a lot. 5,000 kilometers is a lot.
Yeah.
What does the TL on the side mean?
Tech level.
Tech level. Okay.
And so it sounds like we should be able to get most things that are tech level 4 here. 5 is going to be like...
Yeah, so never mind. The
Artifact
packs in
level.
Electo are like not gettable.
Yeah. So yeah, if you see anything that you like that's tech level 5, it's possible you can get it, but it's gonna cost more than what it says in the book.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna hold off on the drones for now, just because all the tech level 4 and unders just don't look worth it compared to the one I already have.
Sure. We'll say I've been reading through like some of the equipment descriptions, and for the pressure tent, which this tent maintains a breathable atmosphere, tolerable temperature, and serviceable sleeping quarters for up to 5 very friendly occupants. So I guess it's not that
I
big,
love that.
but yeah, but if we don't have one of those, having one of those is probably worth it.
Sorry, what was it called again?
A pressure tent, basically a sleeping chamber for us in that gives us atmosphere and stuff.
Ah, yeah.
Because
think that
when you're
might-
in the
that-
tent together, there's a lot of pressure.
I think that definitely sounds worth picking up.
And that one shouldn't be too much. Would it be worth it? So, I guess for the vac suits, do those come with like grav harnesses, or would we want to get grav harnesses so that we can move around in them?
I think that would be smart for all of you, but you can
I
count me out
don't-
of that one. I don't need it.
I don't need it either. Because jetpack.
Yeah, so you two should be good, but I don't know how Teddy and Neith would move around in 0G without it.
Mm.
That's a good idea.
I do also see in the vac suit section that normally there's a -2 penalty to hit rolls and skill checks that require movement, but with at least a month of 0G experience, we ignore that penalty. I guess the question is, are any of us that experienced, or are we going to be running into that?
I mean, my character was born on the moon, so I'd hope that I'd have 0G experience, especially with being a pilot. I probably would have had that kind of thing. Though I'm not getting the. Is the vac suit? Does it give you like a helmet and all that to breathe in space?
I assume so. This is on page
Yeah.
76. If you would like
Then
to,
I might need it because I can't breathe in space as much as I'd love that upgrade.
Yeah.
Do I need to breathe in space?
You have a
If I'm wearing my
fishbowl.
thing,
I mean,
I would
mean,
think
what-
I'd have
what
to
if-
wear
what if-
something over my head, but
what if freezes, right? So
if
in
it's
space.
if that thing's airtight, like if it's vacuum sealed to your face, you'd be good for a while.
mhm.
If it's not airtight, then you're not going to. You'd probably want a
Well,
suit.
I would hope it's airtight. or
Otherwise, it's
waterproof.
just constantly like
Yeah.
water trickling out around it.
I mean, that's how do you think they get hydration for the rest of the body?
That's true. Yeah, it just like seeps out of my mask, and I have to constantly refill it.
Yeah,
I
you'd be pretty good.
I have a different question. As far as tailoring things to my legs, I was thinking maybe having a emergency medication on there, because there's like drugs that you can buy, pharmaceuticals that like will help you heal. And if I have like just like an emergency vial, that'll just like, you know, like an EpiPen, but like in my, I was gonna say my butt, but that's not the way I sit in it, it's my tail. So something like that.
Yeah, though I did also have a question about those because, like, in the section on the pharmaceuticals, they've got like heal 0, heal 1, heal 2 in parentheses. Does that mean you
Mhm.
have to have at least that skill level to use them?
Oh,
Oh, on the let me look. The
you get all the questions today.
Yeah.
oh,
No
I
breaks.
know.
We've been
know,
playing
it's
this game for 15 sessions and we're just learning how the inventory works.
Yeah.
That's how this
Crazy.
game
Yeah.
goes. It's like bits.
Well,
and
we've had a lot of
bobs.
intense session, the one after the other, for like the
Yeah.
last few sessions. So we're finally
Yeah.
getting to ask questions again about this.
Yeah, so the heal, that heal skill is the minimum heal skill you need to be able to use the item.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do any of us have anything better than heal -1?
Probably erstwhile.
I don't think so. I think
Really?
Erstwhile might also have heal -1. Let me double check.
That's because they've
Uh,
got the psychic
that's
They got
healing.
still-
psychic healing.
No, I've got heal -1. I can work. I got work +0. I can work with you. Don't worry. I got you.
Now, 'cause there are two things on here that don't require a heal skill, but they seem one of them is pre-tech, so that's going to be, very difficult to acquire. And the other one is Psych, a military drug duplicated in rougher form by many street chemists. Psych fills the user with an intense sense of confidence and reckless courage. Fortunately, it also cripples their judgment regarding danger. Person affected by Psych Immediately gains a morale score of 12 and a +1 bonus on all skill checks, but will ignore cover during combat and cannot decide to attempt a skill check after learning its difficulty.
What does that require?
Uh-oh, John.
I mean, it says none.
I feel like that would be very funny to put Scarra through. I'm not gonna lie, the coward.
Yeah, effect lasts
That
15
is-
minutes and
This is gonna
adds
be great.
1 system strain to the user and is highly psychologically addictive.
Ooh. E.
So
It
if
sounds
you
amazing,
guys
but
want some of these things, you could maybe hire on like a ship's doctor or something like that outside of Erstwhile, who would be more like your combat medic, and then the doctor would just stay on board.
That might be
It's-
worth it.
It's a little, the doctor would be a little bit more expensive than like your normal person, who I believe costs like something stupid. It's like, it's very cheap. I think a normal person's like 20 credits
Is this like how in
a day.
D&D, like a normal person earns like 1 gold a year or something
Yeah,
absurd like
yeah.
that?
It's,
meanwhile, Adventure's rocking around with 10,000 gold.
Mhm.
whatever it is like, yeah, I think it's 20 credits a day, and then you guys could just like, for a doctor, let's bump it to 50, and then you guys are good. Like, and you guys could theoretically only be gone for like a week.
Mhm. Okay, so we've been looking at lots of options. What are the things that we actually think we might want, or are we still exploring the book?
I think what we might want is definitely the pressure tent that you mentioned, and probably some of the back suits.
Mhm.
Vac suits, I think you guys have. I think they
Do
come
we?
with the armory because they count as armor. So
Oh, okay.
they come with the armory.
Okay.
So you guys are set on that.
I probably don't need the gun boot thing, but I want it.
Yeah, I mean that's fine to ask for.
Anyone wanted cyberware implanted, they could do that. Especially if you hire on a doctor, they could do the operation while you guys are traveling.
But
Can
that's
I
what
get
Neith is there for.
cyberware? Is that a thing I can do?
We would just basically have to like count it as a mod towards you, but yeah, like if there's any cyberware that jumps out to you that you would like, we could just say that counts as a mod. We'll do the cost and have it count towards one of your mods.
Which
do
page
wanna
is
look at
cyberware
that.
on?
82.
83. Yeah, 82, 83.
I literally am on it. Never mind.
There
Okay,
is one thing that I've been looking at that I think we should get. I think it'll be helpful directly for this mission. We should get a drone. I'm thinking of Void Hawk because it can work out in space. It can go for up to 100 kilometers. And then if we pay for some fittings on it, I did the math, it would be 9,500, but it could have environmental power, so it draws its power from sunlight or other thermal variances. It can operate indefinitely. Observational suite, so instead of just having a basic camera and sound, it also has full spectrum UV and infrared visual package, remote sound sensors, radiation chemical detectors, can focus on conversations or facial expressions from up to 2 miles away, and can operate in total darkness.
That sounds rad.
And then probably just a weapon fitting in an ammo unit too. But like this thing could scout out
So yeah,
like,
that would
Lost in
definitely.
Paradise without us even being there.
Currently, I have the Stalker model for a drone, but that definitely sounds like a step up. I was definitely looking at the Voidhawk when I was looking at drones, because I was like, well, if it has to be tech level 4 and under, then Voidhawk would be the next best thing.
So
if we want
and that
a drone.
observational suite would be huge because then it would allow the drone to scan to see if things were whatever this alien is, because you guys know how to scan for it now.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
that
also
definitely
certainly
sounds
gives
like a big
Scarra
one.
more things to do.
And the observational suite is actually one of the cheaper of those fittings. It's only $250.
How much was that total again with all the mods?
So a Voidhawk is 5,000 by itself. The only real expensive mod is the environmental power, which isn't really necessary. That's 4,000 by itself. The ammo unit is 250. The where'd it go? The
Observation suite is
observations-
also only 250.
Yeah, and then the weapon fitting is 1,000. So actually, it would be 10. It would be 1,500 altogether if we went for that particular. But I mean, you could slice 4,000 credits off of that by not going with the environmental power and just using a standard Type A cell.
Yeah, I guess it
lasts for,
depends
like, an
how
hour.
much David wants us to pay attention to power cells and stuff, or if that's not worth keeping track of.
What does it normally use? How many power cells per?
It gets
is it?
one Type A, which I think it says lasts for an hour.
Oh, yeah, you'd probably want it. I mean, I normally wouldn't care too much, but with the idea that you don't know what kind of system you're in, you may have a very limited number of power cells. So
I have
Yeah.
two. I have two Type A power cells on me.
yeah, so I mean, if you want it to last unlimited time, because you don't know if the planet's going to be inhabited, you don't know if there's going to be any amount of power cells there.
Yeah.
I think it might be just worth
Um,
it just for the small extra price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's if we go from the group funds, and it's not very much, just
Mhm.
having like 10,000, pretty much.
Yeah.
10,000
It's a huge invest for the group. Yeah, and with like the weapon mount or whatever, you could get a solid.
Scarra could easily fly that drone.
Could we get one for each of us?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the harm, right?
Heck.
What's your pilot skill?
My pilot's not great. It's a 20, but I have a routine that helps me do drone stuff.
Hmm.
I don't
I
remember
have,
how that works, so let's see.
Technically, I have a +4 because I have a +3 plus Dex for piloting.
You guys can also buy robots. I didn't think about this, but if you guys wanted to buy robots that you then like,
Pilot
Basically
and then just
sent
send it onto the
over.
planet.
you could just be like, "Hey, robot, go investigate."
Roy,
Oh my
I
God.
find
Like-
that to be in poor taste.
Basically.
I think Scarra would be very happy to do that. I'd be like, I'm just gonna pilot this robot and just have it do everything for me. He's never gonna go anywhere.
It's
You
going to
just-
be like the adventurers who determine
Disgusting.
that they are more successful just like becoming merchants or something and stop adventuring. We just start sending robots to do everything.
I mean, why do you think I took the
It-
skill henchkeeper? So I could just
We'll
have
get-
other people do things for me.
I forgot about that. Yeah, because do have Diego on board. Oh, does
Yes.
Diego? You know what? Diego has would be able to use the heal skill.
Hmm.
I didn't think about him. He's not like he doesn't have like a background as a doctor, so I don't know if he could get any. I don't know if he could do surgery on you guys, but he's got like he's
Also, he'd have to keep both hands together while he was,
what's
doing
the
stuff
skill?
for us.
Well, his skill bonus is a 3. He works different because he's an NPC.
Hmm.
So skill bonus being a 3 is pretty dang good. So yeah, he could probably do minor surgery on people if he needed it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Do
so I
we
saw
want
what my
to buy
routine-
the Void Hawk? I don't have that money, so somebody.
Yeah, I vote yes. I vote yes for a couple of them, but
Two
definitely
of them,
one.
so that's 20k.
Yeah.
21K.
Are we
I think.
hiring somebody?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
We can just use
Okay.
Diego
Yeah.
if we
Okay.
want. Yeah, I vote yes as well.
Can I get a fucking... No, we're getting it on
Tank.
the way back. I'm getting a tank for my room, right? When
You
we
can-
get back, they're giving us a tank, right?
You
Yep.
So if you guys are loading up on stuff, they can load up on the things you need to build a tank if you wanted to do
Yes.
that. Okay.
Main priority of this it's
Yeah.
just gonna be her IKEA-ing together this
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah. I mean, you guys could be in this system depending on if you guys don't just like turn around and run away. It takes you guys 2 days to get anywhere in the system, basically the way the travel system works.
Mhm.
So yeah, like you guys could theoretically be in there for a while.
Yeah, I think
Um,
it's just because I seem to recall like there's like a coalition fleet going to the new system that should be there in what was it, 4 days?
mhm.
And so if it takes us 2 days to get there, as long as we don't, we can spend like 2 days prepping in Minerva space before heading out, I think. Or maybe even just 1 day if we want to be the Vanguard scout.
Yeah, they'd like you to be there so you could relay information to the ships as they show up.
Yeah.
But the other one is if you're not planning on staying there, they would like you to leave basically now, so you could get there, and then if you don't like it, turn around and come back.
Yeah.
I guess no matter what, you can't warn them. Oh wait, no. That's right. So the fleet is going to be coming from Zabuth, is where a lot of it's going to be. So so it's going to take a little time for them to organize over there, and then it's going to take them 3 days to jump there. So yeah. So the timeline on that is if you guys basically left now, you could warn some of the if you got there and you didn't like it, you could jump to Zabuth and warn people before the relief fleet left from there. So yeah, if you wait for the relief fleet, you're going to be there for a while. Because yeah, that'll basically put them in getting there in like a week, like a little less than a week. Because yeah, 2 days. So that's 4. Yeah, so a week.
Yeah, I guess we're trying to figure out how much are we planning on us being like, nope, we've seen what these things can do and they're all over the place. We're leaving, versus being like, okay, this seems like we can investigate and try and get, millions more in bounties for finding the diplomats and other information.
Is there any like shield technology that we can like deployable shield? I'm thinking of like a bubble shield from Halo, but I'm trying to like think of like
like
is
for
there
yourself?
for myself, like as a person?
There's force field type stuff, but it's tech level 5. It's in the armor stuff.
Well,
there are also just physical shields. If you guys, those are in the armory too. So if you guys want to bump up your AC, that's part of what we're making those guys you were fighting last time so nasty, was they had like a shield that they were holding, and it gave them +1 to their AC.
I think Scarra is not going to use a shield, but he definitely says to the stronger members of the group, maybe we should get a shield.
Can Teddy dual wield shields and use those as punches?
Oh, it's fun,
but it might like reduce my special punching ability.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you wanted to do it, I would say yes, but it would give you the dual wielding penalty of like a -1 to your attacks, but it wouldn't add to your damage. Is what I'm going to say, because you're using them as unarmed. But then you get to keep the AC boost. You get a +2 to AC because you're basically in an insane amount of cover.
Yeah, that might be worth it. I'm thinking especially for like going up against these aliens of just like, well, bash them with the shield, and they get the shield now, and leave it to them.
You just got a stack of shields strapped to your back. You're like, new shield.
Just Pez dispenser of shields.
You're like Captain Boomerang, but it's all shields.
Yeah.
I also like the shield idea. What would it cost me to have that be a mod in my arm, like a retractable shield?
Already on there.
Yeah, not like always attached, but something that could like
just like pops out,
like spring out. Yeah, like a transformer.
Is there any kind of like weapon mod thing? Let's look at the cybernetics. We'll use that as a base.
Well, there is the one that I already have, which is the where were cybernetics? So many pages to jump between. But the space, there's a like an internal
the holdout.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot. No, that was way more than I was expecting. I'm gonna. It's just a shield. I'm gonna put it at, maybe 3,000 credits.
Okay. I can do that on my
Dang.
own.
The sheets the sheets don't let me get silly. I put 2 shields on and checked them both, but it only gave me +1.
You'll just have to like up your AC manually or something.
Yeah.
By one.
Yeah.
All right. So there is gonna be do we have a decent idea of the things we want that we've spent money on? There's more
So-
time to do it, and if we think of things along the way, we can
You can just say, "Oh, we bought this over at the
we
station."
we can say we spent a lot of time. We're thinking about it. The characters would have more time and more knowledge of the world to make better decisions about it.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be gone for 2 days anyways. So before we get there, so there's going to be a little time to role play. If you think of anything before you show up,
Mhm.
feel free. And yeah, as long as anything that you come up against is like reasonable that you would have thought you might come up against it, and there's something you can buy for it, we'll kind of fudge it and let you do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Guess maybe thinking back to vehicles. I don't know if like a grav tank makes sense, but maybe because does the ship come with any kind of like shuttle to it already?
No. So the ship is modded so as it can land in atmosphere, so
Mhm.
it doesn't need a shuttle. But if you guys wanted a shuttle, you could get like a grav car, use that as a shuttle. We could use that as like a basic idea. There's also like what is it?
There's a grav flyer.
The grav flyer is probably more what I'm thinking. And you'd have room for that. Crew 6. Ooh, that's yeah. I mean, 6 is that's relatively fine. 50 tons.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it says this particular grav flyer is a small craft suitable for an affluent owner and their family.
yeah. So yeah, you do a nice grav flyer. Strap a weapon to it.
Yeah.
And
Just for clarification, are we taking for the 2 drones? Are we taking that out of the group fund?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's okay. I don't think any of us have enough money to
No.
buy a drone on our own.
No, so I've added the drone to my sheet. And so just for clarification, fittings are environmental power, observation suite, weapon fitting, and ammo unit. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I've also given it a stupid name.
Cool.
I riffed it off my my character's first name. So I called the drone miles per hour.
So also with the weapons, since you have the armory, you don't, as long as it's tech level 4, you don't have to buy the weapon to put it on there. You can just staple it on from the armory.
So just like a laser rifle would do, or should I put some?
Yeah. I mean, if it can handle a rifle, you can do
That's
better
I mean
than a
the
laser rifle.
okay. So the stalker model could handle a laser rifle. That was just what I had on it.
Yeah, I think it was just on there, but
Yeah, it just was just on there.
yeah.
I'll give it a. I need to look at the weapon list now just to see what I can hold. Time to find where the weapons are stored on this character sheet, not character sheet PDF.
Oh, weapons. Oh, it's just there. Ranged weapons are on 66, 67.
I'm assuming it can't handle heavy weapons.
No, couldn't handle.
Medium
Yeah, it's
weapons
too-
then.
Um, that's the M would be melee, yeah. So just any ranged you can put on there. That's not a heavy.
Sure.
All right. Cool. So you load up. I mean, so all of this can also, we can say, kind of be done as they're loading like supplies and stuff like that you're going to need anyways, and you're
Mhm.
kind of like frantically like kind of taking inventory, seeing what you need. You're kind of like brainstorming. You're all on comms, being like, "Hey, what if we do this?" And you're talking to like these impure like these imperial like house guys that are loading you up and be like, hey, can we do something like this? And it's all kind of rushed because there's a lot of people trying to get you out of the system as quick as they can. So
Yep.
even with all the shopping and that kind of stuff, it doesn't take you all that long to kind of get on your way. And the defense station is basically like a major city. So most things that you can get, you can buy there anyways.
Have a quick question. Sorry.
Yes.
Does the thunder gun count as a heavy weapon? Would I be able to fit that?
I believe
Because,
it is.
But maybe we could put it on the grab flyer.
Because I remember
Yeah.
using the thunder gun in the battle royale, and that was really fun.
Yeah, the thunder. It was either a heavy weapon or a tech level 5.
I think it's a tech level 5 from my memory.
Yeah, it's
but-
tech level 5. Yeah.
Okay. Thought so.
If you wanted to buy a thunder gun, its base is only 1,000. It's tech level 5. Probably cost you like $30,000.
I'll just find something smaller to put on the drone. If we want to put that on the grab flyer, then I wouldn't be opposed.
I mean, a whatchamacallit, a rail gun could be useful on the grab flyer.
Oh yeah, and railguns also are like they're like a machine gun, so you can do covering fire and like some crazy stuff with it. You can do area of effect, so you just like do damage to things in the area and they make saves.
Though it does specify each round of ammunition is 50 credits, so it's a bit pricey.
Each
but
round? Hot damn.
ammunition sufficient for 1 round of fire, or 1 round of firing costs 50 credits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's unloading a lot of bullets in that time.
What is a spike thrower? I know the name probably gives it away, but
So it's basically like a small railgun, like spike thrower. Just like
could I throw that on
magnetically
the
throwing spikes.
Could I throw that on the drone? Spike thrower?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So sounds like
sorry. What's the range on a spike thrower before we say it?
20 to 40.
That's pretty
Short.
low.
Yeah.
And your thing can see things from like very far away.
like 2 miles.
Should I go for a sniper rifle then? Sniper rifle seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if you want to go for that kind of thing, that's 1,000 to 2,000.
Yeah, it's the longest range. So that's where like it's weird in that it is a tech level 3 gun, but it's still like largely utilized.
Still very good. Yeah, I'll throw a sniper rifle on it. Why not? Miles per hour. You can now use a sniper rifle. I'm so dumb.
Okay, so we need to start tallying costs before we just take all this stuff for free. So we're at 21,000 for the 2 drones. The grab flyer would be 40k, and the railgun on that would be 8k. So that is. Are we spending 69,000 credits on our stuff?
So the heavy weapon is going to cost money. Everything else, any of your personal weapons, you can get from the armory.
Yeah.
If you get like to just basic other supplies like parts and stuff like that for continued mods, we can effectively just say like if you wanted to just drop like 10,000 credits on it or something like that, we can just say you have enough mods to do what you want, and then things like cost more money later.
Mm-hmm.
Or if there's specific mods you think you want to do later and it's like, oh well, this mod would cost 100,000 credits, like, well, okay, well, we can say you spent that money beforehand to get the parts delivered. But yeah, to just cover our butts, you can do something like that, and I'll basically just say you have a stocked engineering thing for parts.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't include pre-tech parts. That would probably cost you a decent amount more, but yeah.
I'll hold off on the gun boot until we get back. It's a celebratory thing. When we get back,
Okay.
I'll fit myself a gun boot.
Gotcha.
Okay, so 2 drones, grab flyer plus railgun are the big expenses, and then some of the stuff like the pressure tent. That's only 100 credits. That's That's very little.
What about
the
the
grav
vac
harnesses? It sounds like the vac suits are included in the armory, but would grav harnesses be?
Are they listed in armor?
No, grav harnesses are field equipment.
Okay, then you would need to buy them.
Okay. But again,
So
those might be worth it because it lets us move around in 0G.
So only 2 people need that, right? Only Teddy and Neith.
Probably.
Because I can move around in 0G fine, so can.
If you want
Mozart.
Diego to be out there in the fights with you, he'll need one.
Each grav harness is 5k, but we've got enough. That would be
And
15k between us.
Same with Pleasant. If you wanted Pleasant in the fights, he would need one because he can't
And he
fly.
uses astral projections to like give himself platforms to run across.
No, sadly. He can make himself armor. So he could basically make himself fall very slowly, but I don't think he can make himself fly because there is a like a parachute armor that he could theoretically make.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that would be another 20k for 4 grav harnesses. So if my math is right, that brings us up to 89,000 right now.
Sounds good.
Can we round it up just for fun?
Just get a whole bunch of, because I'm not including the stuff of you were saying like spend X amount on mods or spare parts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could say you have 11,000 credits of spare parts and just put that in the inventory, and it puts you at an even 100,000 credits spent.
I was saying 69. We rounded to 69.
Weren't we at 89?
Yeah, we're at 89.
We were way past.
Before the grav harnesses, we were at 69,000. But then it's like, oh no, wait, we want to be able to move around in space.
You zone out for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
People start doing math and you hear 69 and then all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Alas.
Yeah. But the other part of that is, can we get a character sheet for the grav flyer, please?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm fairly certain you can, I guess, if we want all access to grav
you
flyer.
can you all want it, so yeah,
because instead we could put it in one of our character sheets, but that's
grav flyer, because that's what I've done for the main ship as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be all players, so the other group is going to be able to see it too. Oh no, I'll put it in your Tuesday. Put it in the Tuesday crew folder. They'll never look in there.
Okay, so we're getting, what was it, 11,000 of spare parts and mods?
Yeah.
I guess technically with spare parts we could.
It's just spare parts.
We could just, if spare parts was to be making my gun boots, then technically we could use some of those spare parts to start retrofitting that. If we wanted.
That's like the stuff. You have to have a certain amount of spare parts to mod things, and then it costs money after that. So any of the mods you want to do are still going to cost money in addition to the spare parts.
I do also see that we have 1 ton of ship spare parts. I assume that's separate from these spare parts, or is it just spare parts?
I think that's to like fix the ship.
Yeah.
So it is still just spare parts. So you guys might, but if you have it allocated specifically towards fixing the ship, then I don't know. We can also leave off the 11,000. If you guys have a ton of spare parts, I forgot about that. We could leave off the 11,000 on that, because that's a ton is an insane amount of spare parts. So you guys are pretty good.
Okay.
I don't feel like you can ever have too many spare parts, especially when it's the only way I heal.
Okay, so the ton is 10,000 credits. So you'd basically just be doubling your tonnage of spare parts.
Good for things.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep that. Okay, so we've now basically got 2 tons of spare parts.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're good.
Yeah.
Fine, we're fine on spare parts. We don't need any more.
You guys have a lot of cargo space. You're pretty solid.
So we're not buying robots.
Okay, and then I'm putting the 4 grav harnesses in the party inventory, but I don't know if it will matter to put those on our individual sheets or not. Ooh. Okay, it does actually say it takes a Type B power cell and it goes through one in 5 minutes of operation.
Oh my goodness.
So
On the grav harness.
yeah, but I think based on how I'm reading this, a grav harness could be used in like regular gravity as well. So maybe in 0G it lasts longer.
Yeah, you say that. You've bought the thing.
Yeah.
Well, if anything,
It's
if you run
fine.
out of power, then at least Mozart and I can carry one each.
So yeah, that's true though, because yeah, so with the grav harness to get moving in 0G, you just need like a boost. So that's if it's 5 minutes of continuous use, you're fine. Like
Yeah.
that's ages.
You just need to
in
readjust every now
0G.
and again.
Yeah.
As long as you have momentum, it's fine.
Yep.
All right.
Shopping trip over.
Woo!
Only took us an hour.
Right.
I mean,
Not
that's
that long.
that's not
It's
too
not
bad
that
for a
bad,
shopping
honestly.
episode.
It's not that bad. D&D or not D, just RPG shopping is always a thing.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you've gotten your things together. You've gotten all these weirdos off your ship who are delivering things, and you've headed out to the edge of space where you can make your jump, or your drill. I mean, and you have we've already rolled it out. Some miraculous piloting from Scarra gets this basically new route plotted, and you guys jump or drill. You're in metadimensional space for 2 days as you explore this new ship, get everything unpacked, start on any kind of modding or anything like that you might want to do in the 2 day period. But yeah, are there any particular role play scenes people would like to have on the ship? Yeah.
Yes,
Indeed.
please. I would like Mozart to walk past Neith's room as she is attempting to put together this stupid tank that doesn't that all of the things are in a different language that she doesn't know, and she's just like, you just hear like a something metal hit the ground and then just a bubbling sound as she is just yelling into her face mask.
I think Mozart is whistling like the tune to the Andy Griffith Show as he's heading down the hallway, and he stops and cranes his head back into your room, and he looks around to see if anybody else is around, and he says, "Oh, mon petit chou, are you okay? Do you want a hand?"
I am sorry. I lost my cool. I'm doing fine. If you would like to help, you are welcome to.
Oh,
There's just like anger.
there is no need for you to leak like this, my little Frostag. Please, here, let me come and I will help.
Oh, she kind of turns. I forgot to ask, because there was a mutiny happening when we met. Is there a voice that you would prefer that I do in your presence to make you more comfortable?
What you mean like this? Anything you want, child.
I don't think that I have Cajun in my vocabulary, but I could do French.
Please.
Now I have to remember if I can actually do French. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Not unless I practice it. How about Irish?
Oh, My ears. Come, let me hear.
Hmm. There's like a mechanical whirring as she likes to. Irish. All right. You
And
see.
then if anybody else walks by, they're like, "Who the fuck is in our ship?"
Yeah, I think she'll very much appreciate the help, and like it's not that difficult, but that's probably part of the problem. It's too simple, and she's like making it way more complicated than it's supposed to be. And she's like, but they're supposed to like meet in this. Oh, you just put it that way. If you just turn it, think in 3 dimensions instead of 5, and then you'll get. So yeah, okay, cool.
He like pats you on the back with his giant ogre-sized metal hand. Plunk, plunk, plunk.
Are you going
I
around the
forgot-
ship in the omen form or in the?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the time. That's his real body, as far as he's concerned.
I forgot to ask you, how have you been since I've seen you last?
Oh, child, I've been, things adapting to this environment. I'm not trying to kill you all. It's a change of pace for me, but I decided I'd take my time with this whole thing. I got all the time in the world, all the time and everything to kill everyone.
Right. More of a slow burn than in a just
Mm,
outright kill everything you see.
Gotta take my time with it, savor it.
Understood. All right, well, I like your new chassis. If you need any help with it, just let me know.
Oh, I will. Okay, you good?
Right, I just need to fill it with water now.
Good. Okay, I'm gonna go scare Mecca. Scarra. Sorry.
All right, have
Who's
fun.
Mecca?
Who is this Mecca you speak?
Beep boop.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I want one too. I think for okay, so it's only 3 days, right?
2 days.
2 days.
2 days, 2 days. Okay, then yeah, this will probably be like the beginning of a habit of Mozart like hacking into ship systems and things and just like making creepy noises or just using all of his knowledge of horror movie like turn of the century pop culture shit to make Scarra think the ship is haunted.
I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna say this right now. Neith has done the exact same thing to me.
Have you
So-
really?
Yes, before you
Dude, we
joined,
share
Neith
the
has done
same brain
exact
so
same thing to me.
much.
So as soon as this starts happening, Scarra's like,
You
Okay.
couldn't blame it on her.
exactly. He just gets up from the pilot and says, Pleasant, can you just fly while I need to go sort something out.
Absolutely.
Okay. I go over to Neith's room. and
At
knock
this
on the-
point, I have filled the water, and Neith is just in the tub, soaking. You knock on the door, and it opens, and she is like, I mean, she's never wears clothes, but she does seem naked because she doesn't have her mask on, she doesn't have her legs on, and she's just under the water, like lurking.
Scarra looks very fed up. And he just looks at you calmly, but a little bit annoyed. It's like, I would really appreciate while I'm flying the ship that you just not, okay?
She like looks down at herself and like puts her hands up and shrugs.
You want to be like that? Then fine, be like that.
I want to
And he walks away.
I want to roll a sneak to sneak up behind
This is
Scarra.
great.
Do you still try and sneak in your omen, or is this worth changing forms for?
It takes too long.
That's fair. I'm just trying to figure out the
I mean,
envision the
Also,
scene.
yeah, like the imagery of his omen form sneaking up on somebody.
How do you
I
roll
really
a crit there? How do you roll a crit there? That's
Yeah.
just
It's a
ridiculous.
12.
It's sus.
Can I roll a notice check if I hear something massive clunking
Yeah,
behind me?
sure.
there is that skill. Oh, I have a +0 to it. That's a great start. Dex. What skill would it be?
Probably like wisdom.
Can't shoot for dexterity. Being quick on my feet. No, probably just
Not on
listening.
notice. Yeah.
No, it's
There's an argument for constitution and that your body is just built well for noticing things, I guess.
I mean, I am on my
Just a
ship.
fear reflex.
I mean,
Yeah.
Scarra's a coward. I can argue Constitution. He's very
If
like.
you have a lot of times things have like a physical stat you could use or a mental, so I'm relatively okay with
Okay.
constitution on it.
I will
It's just-
take the Constitution because I have a +1 to it.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
You-
technically, success.
You don't hear. Yeah.
Probably too distracted being annoyed at Neith.
Whoa.
I don't think Neith. I don't think Scarra even reacts that much. He's just like, he's had visible reactions, and he just turns around slowly. He's like, "Hello, Mozart. You okay? How are you feeling today?"
Oh, it's no fun when you're all hurt and damaged by it. Go on, go back to your pilot and.
Well, I kindly don't know who is messing with me right now, but if it's either of you two, kindly stop. I don't want to be crashing us into any asteroids on purpose now, do I?
He goes to turn at a corner. He turns back and starts to say, like, "Look, I don't know what you're talking." And then he makes it look like something has grabbed him and is pulling him. No.
Oh, thank God. At least he's gone now.
Neith is kind of just like watching this, can't talk because she doesn't have her mask on, and just goes, she shrugs again, and then just like puts herself under the water and starts swimming around again.
It's no fun if Scarra's scared all the time. He's very in his element on the ship.
He's over it.
Yes, he's over it, okay? The less people messing with him, the better.
I love that you also pick Scarra and not like Teddy's like over here just being a sweet being, and we're both like, let's focus Scarra.
Both of you, god damn it, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with me?
You give them the reactions they're looking for. I think probably at this point Teddy is like probably doing some like interior decorating or something, like going to the various common areas of the ship and like flipping through different hollow projections that can show up and like programming in like default music to come on when people go into like the mess hall or things like that.
You've got the fake windows displaying like the right kind of like scenery and doing those kind of things.
Yeah, and like setting up a schedule of like for those of us who have more human circadian rhythms of just like, okay, let's, the lights are, daylight during these hours and dark during these hours, things like that, and just like making the ship homier.
Okay. Is there a scene you'd like to do with anyone in particular while this is going on?
I mean, probably at some point Mozart over here is like flipping through different like songs that Mozart would recognize, and it's a variety. It is like 90s 2000s pop music to classical concerts and stuff, and just like all sorts of things, but
like Mozart's impressed with that, and then whatever you decide on for auto music to kick in on like some peaceful environment, he changes to screamo death metal.
Yeah, which I think Teddy is confused at first, but then figures it out and is like, like he's fine with it. And I think at one point, he puts on, I can't remember the song, but the Risky Business song, and like Teddy's just going around in like his booty shorts and doing that bit.
Oh, Mozart loves that. He starts doing it with you.
Just like
One
eating
breakfast. One time I overestimate and just like slam into you.
Dun, 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 dun. Ah! Oh.
Erstwhile has to come and heal a bruise, like a dislocated joint.
I'm
But
flying and suddenly just the ship just bumps. I'm like, what's that?
We don't have any issues along the way with, like, we're scanning the ship, right? Keep making sure nothing's like hitting us in not hyperspace.
Yeah, in metadimensional space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, last time the things that hit you weren't overly large, and you felt the impact of the ship, because it's like, yeah, it's weird for anything to hit the ship, so you would hear it for one. Like, but yeah, you're scanning and you're aware of your environment. So yeah, nothing seems to be triggering anything like that. I do think that at some point during probably the first day, Diego would find Scarra, actually, and hands clasped, speaking Spanish with his little thing that translates.
Really need
come
to
up.
learn Spanish, apparently.
Well, he understands you. Like, it
I
doesn't
know.
translate back to him.
It's just
This
the
seems to
translation
be-
is very lazy.
yeah, there are things called translator torques, which may be useful. I don't know if we want to spend. I mean, it's only 200 credits each, but if y'all want to be able to understand directly.
As a trader, I think I'm just gonna buy that directly with my own money,
Okay.
because Scarra just work with people with connections.
All right. All right.
I'll buy
So
one
yeah.
of those translators. I probably would have bought one of those.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he finds you probably in the cockpit, and just kind of approaches and says, I'd very much like to thank you for you helped me out a lot in that fight. You killed a guy that was coming after me. I do appreciate that. Just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, no worries. I hate to see you go down. You're really useful to have around. as
Thanks.
well as you're a relatively nice person compared to other people.
I'm compelled to tell you that by many systems of morality, I'm not considered a nice person.
It's the universe. Who cares at this point? Anybody could do anything, right? So what is like right or evil or anything? Do good and evil exist? I don't know. It's just how people's perspectives are, how the laws are built up. It's a bit prejudging, I suppose. So I can't really say you're a bad person. I couldn't say you're a good person either, but I think you're a nice person, relatively, at least in my opinion.
I do appreciate that. I hope that I never give you any reason to think otherwise.
I hope so too.
Well, I do look forward to working with you all. This is very interesting. I haven't ever done anything like this before.
Never worked on a crew before?
Well, I have, but not since leaving. Oh, dang it! What is his planet again? He says the name of his planet, but yeah, I don't have it labeled on the map, so I'm not going through my notes.
What a nice planet name.
It is. Oh, dang it! I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Which you don't recognize the name of the planet, probably.
I'd say I've been there before.
Yeah, it's not a part of your local cluster. It's part of this stuff down to the bottom of the map. Yeah, and it's not DFW or any of these. It's not the German one. All right, yeah. So he I worked a lot with them, but outside of our system, we don't travel much as a culture. We're largely involved in the mini wars being fought.
Your movements are part of your religions, correct? You go on your. I forget what your journeys are called, but
I am a trailblazer, so I spread the virtue of honesty. But that is not it is a more strict lifestyle than even most of my kin face. So there are not many that take on that particular mantle.
I can understand why, but some people have to, and it's brave that you have.
I appreciate that.
I'm not trying to kiss your ass, don't worry. I'm just saying what I think.
It's just it's a sentiment I do not hear often, but thank you.
You're welcome, I suppose. Well, I mean, I already know your skills and abilities, so I think we're in good hands as much as you're in good hands. At least I hope you are. I hope you trust in us to a degree.
Oh, thank you. Yes, and I'd like you to know that I do have some piloting skill myself. If you ever need to take a break or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to take the helm. But probably not as good as you. I've mostly just flown my own small vessel.
Well, I do have to warn you, if you do happen to fly, then just be aware that Neith likes to mess with the systems of the ship sometimes. Same with the new person on the crew, Mozart, though I'm sure you've flown with him before, so maybe you know about that already.
Mozart and I got along well, I believe.
Just if, for instance, in the past, when I've done 48 hours of staying up and piloting the ship during a drill, Neith messed with me and made it seem like my subconscious was talking to me or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's kind of weird. They have a voice modulator, as you probably noticed, so just don't.
Neith, yes, Neith is the one that killed the man I pledged myself to kill. Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
All right.
The one I was trying to let escape.
Will be mindful not to declare anything in anger or violence towards these things, as I would not want to follow through with them.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you have to be mindful of. If you do take the realm of pilot, you take the realm of being the punching bag of the crew, apparently, too.
All right. It's good to know.
Though I don't think, hopefully I'm not. I just don't like, I think that's just because I'm not a big fan of combat. I don't know. Understandably, though, this universe is very scary and I don't want to fight people. I'd much prefer to make friends like yourself.
Absolutely. Friends are always preferable to enemies.
Sorry, I'm rambling. I've been awake for quite a long time.
Well, go ahead and sleep. I can fly. Are you
familiar with this? Do you need me to run you over?
It looks like a pretty standard cockpit to me. Yeah, well, I think I can handle it.
If you need any help, Pleasant's always here to assist.
Pleasant just kind of gives a wave.
And though be mindful as well that Neith might come and steal him away, as he is her son, to a degree.
Oh, that is perfectly acceptable. Kind of, bids you.
Yeah, he's like
a good night.
Scarra gets up, pats him on the back, is like, well, have fun. If you need any coffee, then there's the coffee machine's right there. I've moved it into the cockpit.
He sits down and starts pressing things because he's got to keep his hands together. You're like, dang, this guy, how's he fly?
I really am scared now, but Pleasant's there, so it should be okay. Surely, the ship has accessibility mode for one-handed flying.
Yeah, I mean, largely it's about knowing what to tell the ship to do, and not fast, I'm doing a bunch of things. But yeah, you imagine his ship probably had some modifications to allow him to do this better.
I'm gonna go to the canteen and have some food.
All right. Do we want to break there, and we can do some more roleplay when we get back?
Yeah.
If there's any to be done.
Sounds like a plan, but we have been going for a bit, given that we did a whole lot of shopping. So we are going to take a quick break here, refresh ourselves, refill water, grab a snack, etc., etc. So we'll be back soon. We hope to see you then. hello, Internet. We're back from a Tuesday break, so you know how it goes. But we did cook up some fun ideas that you might see something about in the future, maybe. Who knows? If you want to find out, you should be following us on our socials and joining our Discord so that you know when we do cool things. And that's all I'll say about it in case this idea never sees the light of day. So, isn't that how it always goes? Anyway, we're in space. And
Yeah.
everyone is pranking Scarra.
Yes. Who wants to prank Scarra next? Teddy, you haven't pranked Scarra yet.
I don't know that Teddy. I mean, he probably does more like good-natured ribbing and less like pranking. Like
Maybe it should be my turn to prank Scarra.
you pranked yourself.
God damn.
Yeah, I don't know that Teddy is much in the way of like doing things at the expense of his friends.
That makes sense. Are there any
thank
scenes
you.
anyone wants to do?
I would like to do the scene of me slowly draining the tank.
Okay.
You wait until Neith is out, maybe in the engineering. Oh, let's get you guys on the ship so you can see all the departments you guys have. So it's the same ship as last time. Let me delete Alfie because we don't need him.
Gone. Reduced to ashes.
But yeah, so basically now all the labels are correct. So you have an engineering cabin decked out with stuff. You have the armory. You have a vault. Yeah, so the big one that's going to be kind of wrong. So I say all the labels are correct. You don't have these fuel tanks over here because you guys have an eternal reactor. So you guys don't have to stop and fuel up all the time.
That sounds very nice, and you know the same reason we got those things on the drones.
Mm-hmm. Also, it means like if you jump in or when you drill in, if you don't like it, you can immediately drill out. Otherwise, you would need to like go to a gas giant and get fuel and come back to leave, which could take several days.
So what's the difference between the workshop and the engineer's cabin?
Engineer's cabin is my guess would be is that where the engineer lives.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I guess based on the wording of cabin, because we've got the guest cabin right next to
Captain's cabin. Yeah.
I just assume that's place where people sleep.
Yep.
So Captain Teddy, do you? Yeah, you take the.
Yeah, I'm probably in
cabin.
the captain's cabin for the most part. Teddy at one point probably has like a semi-serious but more so awkward in how serious he is trying to be, of just like, I have an open door policy for you all as crew members, and so just let me know if you need something. And yeah, it's probably mostly just in there to sleep, but otherwise is around the ship and checking in on people, because there isn't much to do in the way of captaining for the most part.
Mozart does not sleep, but I think that if you were to like have a place to claim, it would probably be part of the workshop. Neith, are you planning on? Are you taking the engineer cabin, or are you going to do one of the crew cabins or something?
I mean, if Neith gets a whole room to themselves, they totally will.
Engineer's cabin is definitely bigger.
Yeah, I think she would probably take that. No questions asked. She'd just be like, this is mine. And then the tank takes up that whole top spot.
I mean, it is near the water
control room. Do I get my own
room.
restroom?
It is. You do have your own restroom, so you could just turn that into the tank if you wanted to.
I don't know if I...
Everyone has their own restroom. And these crew cabins do.
These like completely blank spaces, I assume, are those?
Yeah.
Oh, I like how there's a laundry room.
Yeah, there are a couple spelling errors on this map, but
yeah, I particularly like the thrasters.
Thrasters.
Yeah, we gotta get those thrasters up and moving.
And instead of the bridge, it's Briggy.
That's my favorite area
It's
to hang out. Is the
French.
brig.
It's
Brig.
Brigitte.
I'm
Brig.
holding out the brig.
Yeah. What
Like.
else? We do have a brig, though.
You do, yeah.
Yeah. Um.
I also like the pantry / freak.
The Freeg.
Yeah.
All right. I think sorry, did someone have a scene? Scarra was
Yeah.
draining my tub.
Yes. Maybe
did-
like every hour or so, just so.
Okay, you're not like putting a puncture in it. You're just like
No, I'm
actually okay.
You're just taking a bucket of water out. It's doing that like moving a thing on the desk like a tiny bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
every
just so
day.
like just so Neith doesn't notice at first, but eventually she's like, something's wrong here.
Yeah. I think, Emma, what is going on? I think that I would like to go talk to Teddy. Neith would like to go talk to Teddy.
Okay.
Sure.
Go.
With your open door policy.
Yeah, you probably find him doing like yoga or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Neith. What can I help you with?
Hello, Captain. I was wondering if you have any concerns about my ability to do my job on this ship.
No. I mean, you've been doing great so far. Why, has someone been saying something?
No, I just would like a performance review.
Ah. Right. I guess that is something that I should do. Well, I can work on coming up with, actual metrics and stats and things like that at a later date, but I don't know, I guess shall we tour the engine room or something and you can show me what you've been doing?
Sure, it has only been a day, though.
Right, but this is a new ship, even if it is, the same class as our old one, and so, making sure that it's working the way you want it to.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, Neith will lead you down into the engine room, which is on this side of the page.
I think Teddy actually gets like earmuffs or something because it's probably very loud for him.
Yeah.
So it is technically on both because the power core is up top and the spike drive is below.
Right, and then there's the ladder between the levels there.
Yeah.
And all 4 of those thrusters.
Thrusters, so many thrusters. So I think she goes into like a lot of intricate, like, this is how this thing works and this is how this thing works. And then like at the end of it, she just kind of goes, but a lot of people who do not understand the engineering of this will not understand what that means.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes. I think I'm one of those, but thank you for explaining it. They'll pick up some of it eventually, but you are our expert. That's part of why we have you.
Of course, and we have you to lead us, correct?
Yes. Though. You know my feelings that we're all in this together and we all have equal say, but when it comes to negotiating and such, I'm probably the best one to speak with outside parties.
Yes, of course. I was wondering if you feel comfortable being in that role of being in charge.
In certain aspects, certainly. What? Gosh, we haven't been in a ship combat situation in a while. Or actually, I'm trying to, because I was gonna say not since Pangea, but we had that one where like that one guy came after us or something, and we're like, you don't want to mess with us. I can't remember exactly when that was. Was it before or after we got to? Well, not after we got to Minerva, obviously, but
I think it might have been a New Soul when you got.
That was right before
maybe
we
when you were
spike
leaving.
drilled.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah. Yes, in combat situations, you know, I, I feel like I have a better handle on things then. And I can put on my uh, work persona and be whatever it is the client wants me to be. And I guess sometimes I'm so much in a character that I don't forget who Teddy is, but it can be um, uh, just thinking about what I want to do and who I want to be is malleable, I guess. Um, it comes from having done this job for as long as I have, and I guess now that I think about it, maybe being a telepath without knowing it and just being, picking up on other people's emotions and such. Actually, kind of nice being around Mozart in that sense that the telepathy doesn't work on them. It's just there's nothing there, and so I don't have to worry about that.
Right. Are you saying that you don't know what you want and what you need?
Oh, I think at like a big existential level, I'm happy doing this, being here with you and the others, and going on adventures. Um, so far there hasn't been anything that I felt like we haven't been able to handle. Um, so we'll see how this mission goes. I do not want any of us to end up like that ship we saw in the video.
Right. That would be terrible. I don't want to die.
Me neither. But I suppose, um, consider this part of a larger employee review and not just performance. But how do you feel about the current state of things?
Do you want honesty or would you like brutal truths?
Can't they be the same?
Yes, but one is nicer phrased.
Uh, let's go with the brutal truths. It will be easier to, work on things that need fixing if I know what is on your mind.
Of course. A ship is nothing without a strong captain, and one who knows what they want as well as what they want from their crew. I think you do a good job, but I also think you worry about our opinions more than you worry about the mission.
That is very insightful of you. Thank you for that commentary.
I
Um,
do not think that this is a bad asset to have as a human or as a being, but I do think that you need to perhaps put that aside when it is time for big decision making. We are your crew, and even if some of us will give you shit for it, we will follow your lead because you are a good captain and you can be better.
all right. Yes, that is. Thank you for that, Neith. I suppose in the spirit of the same thing, maybe tone down the teasing of Scarra a little bit. Um, I know it's fun, but we don't want him too on edge. Uh,
I
wha-
have not done anything on this new ship.
huh? I said there were more spooky noises, and I know you had done that once. Maybe
Perhaps he has thalassophobia.
you scared of losing things?
No,
Glossophobia?
the lossophobia, the fear of deep waters. And since I
Oh.
now have a tank on the ship, there are a lot more water sounds.
Meanwhile.
Well, I'm no psychologist by any means, but perhaps I should have a talk with him and our other crew members about those sorts of things. Would Pleasant benefit from a conversation like that? I'm not entirely clear on the extent of his thought processes.
Pleasant is the best of us in many ways. I have raised him well.
That you have. Of
One more question, if I may.
course.
Is this voice still pleasing? And in regards to how scary my face can be?
Well, I suppose that people who aren't used to seeing, xenobiology like yourself, or, if they're not used to people from Zabuth. I mean, I've, grew up around people with crocodile faces, so it's, no sweat off my back, but,
You do not sweat.
yeah, Alex doesn't know enough about rabbit biology to know how they handle that. Um, Fair point. Figure of speech. But I mean, I would not ask you to comport yourself differently for the sake of others. But I suppose I have been thinking, because I overheard you and Mozart earlier in different voices, that might be interesting to hear you try out some different ones. So if you could do, Old Earth Russian, maybe? Is that one you're capable of?
Of course. Let me adjust. She hits her thing. Would you like an angry Russian woman, or would you like a nicer Russian woman?
Could you do nice when there's not an issue, but then angry when there is an issue?
Of course I can. This is not a problem.
Right then, if you ever want me to try putting on an accent, I can, though it won't be nearly as good as your voice modulator.
Right, because mine is all computerized. Yours would have to be with talent.
Yes, which I have many, but voices is not necessarily one that I was always the best at, or at least, accents and such.
Right, this is fine. You're very good at things, don't worry.
Oh, yes, I am well aware of my skill sets, but it's things that are on the edge of that, like being a ship captain. This is a first time for me, so still figuring it out, but I appreciate your input on that topic.
Of course, whenever you want it. I will be as brutally honest as you can take. And I will lay off Scarra a bit. At
Just a
least this
bit.
mission is pretty dangerous. I don't want it to get I will say, as we get further onto things, I am very nervous about these creatures, and if we get into any trouble, I'd like to bail as quickly as possible.
Yes, I agree, and so that's why, it's a good thing we got those drones, because we'll be able to send them out and determine from them whether or not this is something we want to risk at all, or if we decide that we just want to head straight to Zabuth and let them know how drastic the situation is.
Of course. Well, thank you for taking your time to talk to me.
Of course, anytime. I'm always happy to talk with you, whether it's in a captain crewmate capacity or as friends.
Friends. All right. I could try that. But not now. We're on a mission.
Right. Yes, of course. It's mission time.
I like your mission voice. It's very nice.
Thank you.
All right, let's get back to work.
Yes.
Look how cute Simon's being.
Is he asleep or just being? He's going
just
along with it.
He's just enjoying his cuddles.
He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy. My handsome man.
He's just a boy.
All right. Does anyone have any other scenes they want to do before you pop out in the new system?
I'm good. Other than seeing Neith's reaction to be like, what's happening here?
It's gonna be like on the way back, I promise.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'll leave this up to Mecca and Sita of how much we want to play out, but after that, Teddy probably would go around and be like, hey, checking in, and how do you feel about this mission? Your thoughts on it.
I think Scarra would just be like, I'm good with the mission. I just want you to know that at the first sign of danger, I'm getting us all out of here. Unless specifically told not to.
Yeah, and so I think would go over this plan of like, let's get there, send out the drones, do some scouting with them, and then make the assessment.
He's fine with that. He wouldn't have any other thoughts about saying anything. And he's fine mentally too. You could probably check psychically with him. He's not got a fear of deep waters.
Yeah, and then Teddy probably spends some time trying to figure out if you have a fear of losing things.
And he also does not, apart from his legs. But I think that's rational.
Mm-hmm. And then anything from Mozart in terms of the risks of the mission?
Not really. No, he's pretty much just like, yeah, it's whatever. He doesn't tell you anything about how hard it is to kill him, but you've seen how he acts in combat, and he like in any conversation he just portrays that as well. Right, I'm not worried about it. You lot are the ones that got your organs might spill out. Don't ask me, ask yourself.
Right. Well, it still feels odd to ask, one specific person to put themselves on the front line because they are, by some measure, more expendable. That feels cruel, even if it is factually correct.
I think he bends down so that you're face to face, and he says, "It would be cruel if that were your motivation. How about I'm on the front line," and then he stands back up to his full height, "because I got these guns."
Does a little bit of applause. It's nice to know that we have someone else on the ship who knows when to show off.
Oh, don't worry, Bugs. I'll keep you alive. Until I take your life, that is. I'll pat you on the head.
A little bit perturbed. Still isn't entirely clear how much Mozart means that or not, but isn't going to worry about it for now.
That's exactly how he likes it.
Yeah. And then I think just, at least for the first little while of them interacting, just as they pass each other, we'll just mention oh, have you read such and such book? And just in passing, try and figure out what cultural touchstones they each have.
I think especially since we decided real early on, even before I kind of just started weaving in all the pop culture references, that his background is a scholar.
Mm-hmm.
So his repository of history is immense, but there does seem to be this huge concentration around the 19th, 20th, and I don't know if we want to make some shit up, 21st century, just like a couple hundred years swath where it seems like he has a lot of information, every movie, every song, and he's got an opinion on all of them.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, Teddy's knowledge is probably more modern, but there's probably also enough of that still in existence that he is at least aware enough of them to like engage in a conversation with you. Whereas I imagine a lot of people are just like, wait, what? And have no
And
clue of any old Earth culture.
Mozart seems pretty thirsty for a lot of more recent history, like anything from the last one, loosely
600
three
years.
fourths of it. Yeah, like a long many centuries.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That he seems to have a kind of a hole in.
Yeah, and so Teddy will probably be happy to engage in conversations of like, this time when I was, the arm candy for the ambassador to such and such, this was the like politics I was able to pick up on and things like that. And
Oh, you lush.
well, it's a living. It's, certainly more enjoyable than getting the snot beat out of me in the gladiator pits.
I think Mozart's big single lens face kind of tilts upward and to the side a little bit when you say that, and then his whole body shudders. All of his little ablative plates kind of shudder, and he goes, "I'd rather not think about that too much."
What, gladiator pits?
No, the other one.
Oh, right. Yeah, I suppose you probably don't have that equipment.
No, I'm not going to do that joke. No. Nope. I'm just going to move on.
Well, if your thirst for knowledge ever veers in that direction, I would be happy to teach, but if you wish, we will never speak of this again.
He starts backing out of the room. He backs out of the room all the way. He's done.
This is insane. Slowly backs out of the room. No more conversation.
Congratulations, Alex. You successfully intimidated Mozart.
You found the thing.
Got one trick up his sleeve.
Well, I'm not sure if it's up his sleeve, but
Anyways. So do you guys, when you're about to come out of metadimensional space, exit the drill, do you all want to like be at your stations?
I'm getting ready
to people want to be.
I'm getting ready to send out the drone, but I am at my station.
Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine we're basically in battle stations in case we like arrive and it's like surprise, the alien entity is right there.
Consumed the planet or something.
Yeah, I can also because I've got the drone control and split cognition, I can run a station and operate my drone simultaneously. So if there's a spot that you guys want me to fill in on that, you should let me know, because I don't really know what y'all's standard positions are.
Pilot.
I assume megas. Yeah.
All right.
No,
so,
I'm just running medbay. You know how it is.
So we can look at the different stations. What's not in combat? Is ship combat. Okay. So someone basically is going to be a captain. Then you have the pilot. It's going to be on the bridge. Comms is using like programming. Engineering is using fix. Gunnery is using shoot, and then general is just like you kind of just are helping out in random, kind of random. So Diego can take. He probably would need to either be general or gunnery, depending on who wants to do what. But having someone do general is very helpful, so don't underestimate doing that.
That is fair, but I also know he's pretty good at a lot of things. I think Mozart is probably the best suited for the gunnery.
Mm-hmm.
I assume Neith, you're in engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we put me on guns in case something gets real weird?
You can also switch. You can like have two. So like if Neith, you want to be in engineering, you could also do comms and then you could split on which one you would need to do each time.
Okay, and I have Pleasant as well, right?
Oh, that's true. Pleasant can do. He could do either one of those as well, and in any round where you're not doing it, so you guys could like flip flop if you wanted. Let's get Pleasant in here.
Wait, are we going into combat right now? Is that what you're telling me?
No, but
we're in battle stations in case it's real bad.
Ah.
Yeah, but and it's just work it out before if we ever need to. Okay, I'll get Pleasant. He's just
Let's
kinda
hope
up
that my
there
original
at comms.
calculations for this jump by 14 or 15 or whatever is good enough to hopefully come out of Spike stealthily. But having a ship just appear is
There's not really a way to come out stealthily. What now the plus side to it would be is that basically let's get you guys off of the ship. I'm going to put you back on the star map. So every one of these like hexes, if you're coming from a specific hex, it will have a specific exit point that's like a few, like maybe like 10 to like 100-kilometer radius kind of thing. And so you guys coming from Minerva, so it's going to be like either on this side or this side, and it'll be very specific. And it will be different than like if you came from New Sol or from Eden or anything like that. So this system, it's possible, depends on if it's inhabited or not. They may not have any defenses there. They're, space is big. It's hard to scan it all at all times. So unless they're like just straight up looking for you, there's a decent chance you will be undetected. But yeah, it's relatively easy to lock down a system if you have the resources. But yeah, as you all, I'm going to get you back to the ship. All right, as you all exit metadimensional space, you find yourselves in a type of system, especially if you're well-traveled, seems very familiar. It's one that is capable of supporting human life. So it has got now where it's a little different is it's a red dwarf. So you guys are coming in a little closer to the sun than you might usually. It's got a habitable planet in there. It's got things are a little bit closer in orbit and stuff like that. But you guys are coming out like way out in the boonies, so it's still pretty far away. Does anyone want to do like a scan or anything like that?
Nah, we'll just fly in blind. Yes.
what kind of how would you do a scan?
You do a programming check.
Right, yo.
Hey, I got it, boys. Don't worry. Programming just off the computer. It's gonna be. Let's go.
Okay.
13.
Very normal roll for you.
Very, very good. So there's a lot of things that you get out of this initial scan. So one thing is you do locate the Oasis of the Stars. You also are able to scan the planets. There is a habitable planet that seems to be occupied. Judging on its, there's no like life, you can't like scan for life or anything like that. So you can't tell how many people are living there. But infrastructure wise, from what you can see, looks to be like it's maybe, tech level 2. So like medieval level technologies. You see the wreckage of a lot of like space stations and defense stations here. It looks like it's been, they haven't been in use for probably since the screen, so about 600 years. they all have the same like logo on them somewhere, slightly faded, but again, space kind of preserves things very well. So it's of a black sun. And there, did I say there's on the coming from the habitable planet, there are there's 100 to 150 distress signals coming out from escape pods. You would have had like information on the ship and stuff like that. So these escape pods can hold about 10 people. So that puts it at around like maybe half the passenger / crew. Maybe a little more if it's closer to like 200 escape pods. It's a bunch. The ship would have like an exact number for you when you did the scan. We'll say it's closer to 200, but it doesn't actually matter for the purposes of the narrative. And yeah, you have a detailed scan of the Oasis of the Stars, which seems to be in perfect working order. It is currently docked with one of the old ring gates. So back before the Scream, spike drives had become largely obsolete, and everyone got around by basically having giant stargates that were out on the edges of systems, around like the same kind of area where like a jump exit would be. And yeah, they were manned by a bunch of psychics, and they could just open a portal and you could go right through. And this allowed for like much larger ships than what is currently possible to transport using spike drives, and stuff like that. It is currently docked with one of these ring gates, which weird. But with the scan, one of the things you're able to determine, as you've so well scanned the thing, you're able to get a good view of what's going on. You pull it up on the view screen, and you are able to tell that the ring gate is slightly like manipulating itself, like pieces are just moving.
Neith comes on over the loudspeaker. I think there is a problem. The gate seems to be operating itself.
What? What?
It is moving on its own. I don't know if it's operating itself or if it is being consumed by deadly things.
So when you see it, think more like if you see in Star Trek the Borg like repairing a cube than like it's operational. So like it's just straight up like moving and reforming slightly.
Oh, it seems to be reforming itself.
That is troubling.
Probably. Yeah, I'd say it's very problematic.
But also potentially, I mean, if it could get a ring gate working again, that would open up all sorts of possibilities.
You're right. I think we should wait here and just wait for it to do its thing.
No.
A side effect of this is that you can understand my sass a lot better. Maybe I'll switch back.
No, I think I prefer you this way. Okay, well, that's not good. How the hell do we stop that from happening?
I will say.
Oh,
go ahead.
Well, do we see the ships that we were looking for?
So the Oasis of the Stars is the ship that you were sent to investigate.
Yeah.
You do know there was another ship that came here before you that would have left, and out of the like gajillions of signals and all the stuff going on, you did roll well enough that you do manage to pick it out. It does seem to be at the planet right now.
Okay. Oh. Like hanging out in a good way or a bad way?
It's in orbit around the planet that had medieval stuff. I mean, so there's a bunch of escape pods down there. It's not weird
Yeah.
that
Okay.
they might be trying to rescue people or something like that.
Yeah, but we did get we know that there are still a bunch of people alive, right?
You would think
Potentially.
with so many escape pods launched.
Okay. Wonderful.
What you think, Captain? Shall we let loose our new toys?
Certainly send the drones out, the Voidhawks out to investigate the escape pods. We need to determine if people are alive and in one piece in them, or if the alien has made its way into some of them.
It would take you 2 days to get there before the Voidhawks would be able to.
Ah,
It's still like really far away.
gotcha.
Same thing with like the Oasis of the Stars. It's going to take you 2 days to get there before you're in any kind of range of it. So it's no threat to you at the moment.
Okay. Okay, so gonna talk out of character for a second for a thought process. So we've got, it's now what, 2 more days until the Coalition fleet arrives, basically?
No, it'll be, they will leave in 2 days.
Okay.
So they will then they'll get here in 5 days.
Okay. So it would take us, 2 days to travel there. We could even still do, well, no, because we would need to leave now to catch them before they left. So I guess what I'm thinking is, like, we could get close enough to investigate more and then still flee back here and meet them when they arrive. And that
You
should
can
be
also
low risk.
contact them from anywhere. You don't have to be on
In
the
the same
edge to, like-
system? Or-
so you're in the same system. Yeah.
so once they arrive, gotcha.
you could just like chat them up. Because in 2 days they will drill and then they're out of contact. You
Okay.
can't reach them until they get here.
But we could theoretically reach them now, or because they're in another system, we couldn't?
You'd have to leave. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but if you wanted to provide them with information, you could gather information for 2 days, and then when they get here, you could just like, boom, don't do this or go here, or like, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I guess again, table talk. Like, how are we feeling about this? Do we think we would want to get close and investigate, or is this enough where it's like, nope, they're doing hinky shit, we're we're out of here and letting other people deal with it?
I want to investigate.
I'm all bad
Problem
about
is, yeah, I'm also wanting to investigate. The Mecha as a person, Scarra is also just like, this is really bad. We probably should still investigate though.
No, and I mean, I think it's fine for us to have that kind of table level discussion of like, this is what the players want to do, and then we can figure out how do the characters approach it. So, yes, it sounds like.
Go ahead. What I was going to say is not to push it, but also something your characters would probably realize is this other ship that's been here now for a few days. You could contact it. It is, you do have comms.
Okay. So,
But
yeah. So yeah, I guess first order of business as captain then is, let's see if we can hail the other ship that we know is active and figure out what they have learned, and we can use that to help better inform our decision.
All right. So if you are hailing them,
Hailing frequencies are open, Captain.
so the ship that you're hailing is the SS Revolution. And as you hail, at first you're greeted by kind of, well, come here. Get it up here and make it a little bigger. Boop, this girl.
Okay.
You will immediately notice that the image of the cockpit and whatnot that she is piloting is not accurate to the size of the vessel.
Oh my god, adorable.
Okay, so would we be able to know that this is like something people do of like projecting a virtual image or like
It does seem to be likely that it's a virtual image.
okay,
Yes.
so we are interfacing with a VTuber right now. um, but oh, we never came up with our new ship's name because I gotta know
shit.
what to be like. This is Teddy, captain of the so and so. Um, that's something we should have done in the time in while we were
The
drilling.
Starlight Express.
I feel like that's already a name for one.
Hold on.
The Losers Club.
So I've been watching it nonstop for the past week, all 3 versions. I'm okay with the Losers Club, but
I
like
don't think I know
in
what this is. We can talk about it later.
The movie the Stephen King book.
Ah,
Hmm.
gotcha.
That's what the kids called themselves. They were the
Yeah.
Losers Club.
But it's in French. What's the Losers Club in French?
I don't remember my French that well.
No, neither do I.
Google.
Betcha club is just club.
Club de
No.
Pardon.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to pronounce that. Tad Boredom, I had some kind of chance. This one, Scarra's going to be like, this is what our ship looks like.
Well, but also I don't know if that's like getting the right loser in that translation, or if they mean like these are people who lose things versus people who like do not gain victory. I don't remember my French well enough.
Start your conversation. I'll do research.
Yes. And so speaking to this,
The captain of Redacted.
yeah, because we also haven't described this image for the folks at home. It is an anime girl with bright pink hair. Got like big old headphones around the neck, and just like a t-shirt and a skirt, and is like dual, not joystick, but like I'm trying to think what you would call those kind of controls. Throttles?
It's
Yeah.
throttles. Also, yeah, it's almost giving me Cowboy Bebop vibes.
A little bit.
Kind of character.
Yep.
Yeah, little Ed. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Greetings, SS Revolution. This is Teddy of the We have entered the system on a mission from Minerva and other coalition forces to investigate the Oasis of the Stars. We understand you have been here for a few days. We would appreciate if you could give us a report of what you have learned thus far. Have you encountered the alien entity yet?
The girl kind of, nodding along with you. Goes, nice to meet you, Teddy. This is Saoirse. So, yes, we have, in fact, encountered the entity on board the Oasis of the Stars. It refers to itself as Strand. Do not be fooled by any attempts at communication. It attempted to deceive us into believing it was the captain and tried to invite us on board for some kind of taco bar. Was an odd choice to get us on board, but it's kind of cued us in that something was a bit off. Let me go ahead and connect you to our captain and the rest of the crew, and they can tell you better, as I haven't gone down to the planet or anything like that. And yeah, as that image leaves, you still see this person on the deck of the ship, but I'm going to kind of like make her small and be over here. But there are several other people that appear. Several of them are clearly Minervan by way of dress.
So the first person you have shown is, I'm pretty sure is what's her face from Arcane, the council lady.
Probably.
With the
yes, they are. Yes,
yeah,
they are.
I can't remember her name, but
Nor can I.
the I'm trying to think how I can describe her without spoiling Arcane. You know, black, very fancy updo, got lots of gold jewelry and
But it's
face
black and
makeup.
gold.
Yeah. Um,
I'll try and find their character name, but I don't remember.
yes. Yeah.
I'll just look up Counselor Lady in Arcane.
There's. They look like a white boy, but I'm not entirely sure. Very short brown hair. Very pale. And then there is a Cobra person.
Mhm. There is also in the captain seat, strangely enough. This is their character sheet, but it is a bunny man.
Okay, so more like Teddy than you have just given us a bunny.
This is the other game crew.
Ah.
So
Neat.
but yeah, these are their character picks. But yeah, the bunny guy just kind of says, "Hi, this is Augustus. You can call me Eugene.
Pleasure to meet you, Eugene. Teddy. We're here to assist if we are able. There are other coalition ships from Minerva and Zabuth en route. They should be here in a few days. We are here to see how much of the crew of, or the passengers and crew of the Oasis of the Stars are rescuable. We are well aware of what this alien can do and what it has done to people. So we're aware that not everyone will be able to be saved.
Yeah, absolutely. So the I believe any crew that was left on the Oasis is probably dead, consumed by the entity. I believe a little over half of the crew has managed to escape on escape shuttles. We've seen no evidence that the entity has followed them here. The world itself is slightly hostile towards the people here. They have some local beliefs that people from the skies are demons and such, and several of the escape pods have come into conflict with the locals. They do possess a very odd form of psychic psychics here, unlike anything I've seen before. They refer to themselves as wizards. There's also odd zones of like floating cities and things of this nature that seem to be made out of metadimensional energy, and they've warped space around them. They have creatures native to them. They're obsessed with making contracts. We don't quite know the details, but there seems to be many warring kingdoms here, some of which are more hospitable than others. But that's basically, we've only been here for about 3 days, so we don't have a lot of information to give on that front here.
Well, that is certainly far more than we had a moment ago. Thank you. I'm just wondering how much more we should get into things given the time.
I think Mozart's voice cuts in real quick there. And he says, and I think he just has the comms set to like you, not the other ship as well. Mm-hmm. But he says, right, so clearly they're being mind controlled by the alien. You want me to blast them out of the sky? You just say the word, Captain.
That is certainly a possibility worth considering, but we shouldn't really jump to that assumption just yet.
No, that would be hasty. Right. Puts the cap back down on the trigger.
The other one thing that probably we didn't take into account, they are probably like over a light hour away from you guys. So this conversation is going to be like bits and
Gotcha.
pieces. So you're going to send a thing, they'll send a response.
Okay. It's play by post.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, if we probably do need to wrap up because we still need to do stars and wishes. So we can leave it there. You guys can decide what to do next time you have a little bit more information. If you want to get some scans of the Oasis of the Stars, or if you want to go to the planet and start looking for survivors. But yeah, let me pull up my game. All right. Yeah. So you guys get is it 3 this time or 4? Whatever it is to level you up and get you even on levels.
Yeah. 3 to get us to 54 XP, which puts us at level 8.
All right. Yeah, so next time before we start, we'll probably try and get in a little leveling. All right. What do we got stars and wishes wise?
I'll start. I think my star, funnily enough, goes to Sita for somehow coming up with the same plan to mess with me. Exactly, pretty much the same as Neith's plan, flickering with the lights and all that.
Yeah,
and
we
making
gotta
crazy
share that
noises.
star. It's not even my idea. I just absorbed it.
I
out
will
of the
accept
ether.
this with you on.
Sure, it's joint star and a star to both Neith and Sita. Sorry, to Neith and Mozart, because me as a player finds it hilarious. Scarra is so annoyed, which I love. And my wish is for something wrong to happen to us, for us to get stuck here for a bit, so we have to deal with this. Scarra would hate me right now, but I find it so fun.
All right.
So next, I'm going to give a star to LB for Hard Truth Neith. That was a good one, and I like that. I'm also kind of recently I've been on a kick about giving stars to like a little bit of inner player hostility. You know, as long as it's a little bit. I talked about this on Monday. A little bit of cayenne in the soup makes it taste better. You know, if everybody's getting along all the time, it's a little boring. Too much, you know, scald somebody's mouth. I think that was just right. And my wish is going to be, I think, for some ship combat. I want to get in there and see how this. I mean, I've seen a little bit on some of your streams, but I want to get my fingers in all those command actions and things.
All right.
We both unmuted at the same time.
You go.
Okay. I mean, my star is, the also Hard Truth Neith, and just that whole conversation was very good between Teddy and Neith. We got to find more time to have the quiet time and crew RP stuff, because just on the whole, that's delicious. And then I guess so that I'm not just copying a star, the secondary star is to Scarra's method of getting back at Neith. Getting back at Neith is the just slowly removing the water just a little bit until she notices. Those are usually amusing pranks. And then
slow burns are the best burns.
Yeah, and then wish. Oh gosh. I'm trying to figure out whether I want it more to be that, oh shit, no, this other crew is taken over by the alien, or for us to be like, oh no, wait, we actually have like allies here that we can cooperate with.
Mozart was straight up kidding, hoping to blow up a ship full of people. Like I don't think he actually believes that, but go ahead and say the word.
I mean, it is a possibility. We know that this alien.
I'll blow up David's other group of planes.
It could be a double bluff. We don't know.
I mean, from any of my games I've been in, anytime it's like, oh, these people are completely fine. My characters are always like, no, they're not. Why would they ever be fine? We need to think about these things. Just kill them and be safe, right?
Yeah.
Use your brain.
I guess I
Just
haven't
brain.
specified a wish out of those. I don't know. I'm gonna lean more towards we actually have friendlies in the system. Because we've been going for a while of not of it being like us against almost everyone.
All right.
Yeah, my star is gonna go. I think to Alex for the for me jumping on you and going, hey, I want a performance review. Tell me how I'm doing, like right now. And you're like, okay, I can do this. So I appreciate you yes-anding me. And then, but I also really am enjoying the having Scarra like pull the slow prank. I'm very, and also that uh that Neith is getting blamed for things that she's not doing. She's very confused about it. Which will be fun later. And then my wish, all of the wishes were very good. Combat and friends and stuff like that. But I think at some point the prank war, and this is maybe something Scarra can do, is gonna go from both Mozart and Neith focusing on Scarra to like focusing on each other and like have them like blow up a little bit because they're both pretty extreme. So that'll be fun.
Okay.
More pranks.
And then Teddy will reveal his guys as the true prank masters with a Z.
Right.
Wait, are we just playing Monster
would be
Road
awesome,
Trip
too.
right now?
That's all the metadimensional space bits are, just Monster Road Trip shenanigans.
I wouldn't be so opposed.
Mhm. All right. Yeah, I think stars just got to go to the role play for me. Was fun to see everyone get to do that and it just be a crew and see how things kind of gelled. Yeah, it was a good time. Wish, I don't know. Yeah, I just want you guys to poke stuff and see what's in the system. You know, there's a lot of stuff here, so I don't lean one way or the other. But
Yeah.
I suppose I wish for you to stay here and check things out and not just be like, bye.
Yeah. So I suppose we are now like creating two divergent universes for you potentially, with like depending on what your other game in this universe ends up doing.
It's loosely connected. I'm not worried about trying to make it like canon for both.
Yeah.
I just liked the idea of because so the crew that found the footage that you guys got was them, and so I wanted to get you guys moving more towards this quicker than just having you like, oh, here's doing the same thing twice.
Yeah.
So they're already parallel universes, so they could be brain controlled.
We've already got the future knowledge from them, but they never had that future knowledge, so they went in blind while we were going in with some semblance of idea.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. I guess that's it.
All right. Well, GG's everyone. Let's see. The next time this channel will be live will be on Thursday for our next Elegance and Vigilance stream. We're at a fancy masquerade party. And we are finally all getting together and meeting each other in our civilian personas in that game, because we first met each other as the vigilantes. So lots of fun double life shenanigans there. Once again, nothing on Saturday because it's Van's birthday, so make sure you wish him a happy birthday. And then that means after Thursday, the next stream will be Monday, and then we'll be back to Masks and Squire Squad. Barring any.
Homecoming.
Woo! Yeah, homecoming, and things are going fine. There's not a malicious AI who has locked the doors and flooding the air vents with something. They'll be fine. But yeah, anyone got other things they would like to plug or promote before we go? Then until next time, good games and good night, Internet.